Welcome to the 1457 podcast. Bit of a special from us on this episode. It's the trails where golf began. So just before we get to that, Scotland Where Golf Began is a dynamic digital platform inspiring golfers near and far with our eye-catching photography, wonderful short films, insightful stories, and now these fascinating podcasts. We want to inspire golfers from all around the world to visit our Scottish shores. So I'm Stevie, your resident golf nut, your functioning golf addict, and my co-pilots this week are Malcolm Duck. Good evening, Malcolm.
Good evening, Stevie.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Malcolm.
I'm Malcolm Duck, Ducks in Scotland's Golf Coast, the perfect weather just outside Edinburgh, and we just love looking after customers and introducing them to all the delights of Scotland, our whisky, our food, and most of all, our golf.
And also joined by Dave Kerr. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening.
That was
good
golf,
evening.
not guff, by the way.
I thought that's what you're introducing me there, Malcolm.
And Dave, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dave Kerr. I own a golf tourism business called Morton Golf. And again, a bit like Malcolm, there's nothing we like better than welcoming people from across the world to enjoy all the delights that Scotland has to offer.
So, Malcolm, tell us what a golf trail is.
So Scotland's not just about golf. There are lots of other things you can do. And if you go to the website, scotlandwheregolfbegan.com, you'll find quite a few of the trails for little videos that we're coming out and releasing about them. So we've got 7 trails we're going to be doing. And today we're going to be doing ferry golf. So that's a trail where you go play golf. You get on a ferry unless you're Dave and you go helicoptering. Or there's another one we're doing, links to the seaside. So what you can do round about the seaside and the golf courses. And the perfect match. And the perfect match trail is all about one of my favorite subjects, whiskey, a wee dram, and a game of golf. So the trails are where you can go, where you can stay, what you can do.
So luckily, we've all had experiences of all of that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I think we'll kick things off with ferry golf. And Malcolm, you give us a little overview on the ferry golf trail.
So ferry golf, we're looking at Arran, Cumbria Boot Peninsula, all these kind of golfers around there. Scotland's lots of island. I mean, the island of Great Britain is a single landmass, and the British Isles are all the islands round about that. So it's how you get from the single landmass of Great Britain and the Scotia part of that, Scotland, to the islands. So there's some cracking little golf courses on the islands round about, some very unique ones and hard to get to play ones to get on, and some other courses that are more famous to all the things like Colonsay Golf Course, where you get the ferry from Oban, or you get a plane and you land on the golf course. You have to stop as you're coming in.
Dave, you can kick us off with that.
Yeah, absolutely. The diversity of golf courses that you can access by ferry in Scotland is really the remarkable thing, I think. When a lot of people talk about Arran, a large island off the west coast of Scotland, as being Scotland in miniature, and it's the perfect example because it's got 7 golf courses on it. Tiny little island with 7 golf courses, just crazy. 3 18-holers, 3 9-holers, and bizarrely a 12-holer. The Shiskin Golf Club is the 12-holer. Absolutely stunning setting on the coast of the island. All the golf courses, actually, all but one, I think, are maybe coastal. And when you arrive off the ferry, the first one you kind of happen into is probably Brodick, which is a lovely kind of parkland course just with views out over the water. Couple like that. Lamlash is a bit like that as well, I suppose. But then, Corrie is it's the strangest of golf courses, almost in a quarry, actually. Feels like you're in the middle of a big valley playing from one side of the valley to the other. You should probably be issued with a hard hat as you step onto the first tee, though, because there's all the holes kind of crisscross one another. It's on a busy summer's day, it can be a bit interesting, certainly. A lot of shouts of 4. But I think, Stevie, you've played a bit in Arran as well.
Yeah, I have. I've played Shiskin, which I absolutely loved. Myself and my son played it. And we actually played it, and this is just one of the wonderful things about that part of the world, that part of Scotland, is we played it in October of last year. And it was middle of October and the sun was shining. There was no wind blowing and we were playing in our T-shirt, which was amazing. Not a cloud in the sky. So it's brilliant that you can get that opportunity to play, and I get the possibility of actually experiencing weather like that all year round. But, some classic quirky holes. Is it the 3rd that go or 4th that goes up the hill? 3rd, is it? Which
you're
is
kind of hitting at a post.
Yes.
And if you're slightly left of the post, you're probably dead. So you probably need to be pretty much on the post.
Is it would you say it's maybe like a 200 feet sort of
Oh,
incline,
yeah,
more than that,
probably
straight
about
up.
that. Yeah.
And then the best bit is you come back down.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Absolutely
It's
What
wild.
goes up
phenomenal.
must come down.
Yeah,
Indeed.
and the lamb lash is the one on the side of the hill, isn't it? That's kind of
Yeah,
up
it's
which I've played as well. Which
quite
which I love.
significant elevation changes again at Lamb
Yes,
Lash.
yes. To the extent of my son, who was 8 at the time, hit a t-shirt on one of the holes and then got blown over by a gust of wind. Because he was standing on an uphill line.
Dear.
But we had phenomenal time playing that. It was great fun.
Great fun.
Fun.
I've been a couple of times. I've been over. Has been playing in something called the Arran Golf Marathon, which the local tourist board organise, where they get groups of 4 balls turning up at 4 o'clock in the morning and playing. I think we start at Whiting Bay, 4 o'clock in the morning, flashing golf balls off the first tee, still dark until you get to about the 3rd or the 4th, and try and work your way around, and then try and play all 93 of those holes on those 7 golf courses in a single day. In the height of the summer, obviously, where you make the most of the sunlight, but the last round is generally played at Shiskin, so it's an absolutely stunning place to finish. As the darkness comes in. Absolutely beautiful.
It's quite funny though. My home's Mallaig up near Skye. I've actually not played any of the golf courses in the islands. I mean, I've played Machrannich and Machrannich Dunes, which you can get to by ferry, and you can drive there all the way, or you can fly, and you can go back through Arran and take all the golf courses in there. But I'm listening slightly jealously and realise it's something I must do and get on with.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing them all on the same day. Just so I go. Right? But,
well, you've done it twice.
I can imagine, Dave, you had some sore feet and maybe a little bit of a red face from the sunshine that you would the windswept weather that you've been exposed to.
That's true. It's great fun though, and again, the island itself has just got the people are so welcoming. They're just a wonderful people that live on Arran, and it's just a stunning place to spend any time. As I say, the golf courses kind of run you around the outside of the island, but through the middle of the island, it's a real mecca for cyclists. To get up to the top of Goat Fell, is it, I think, in the centre of the island. It's just, there's some stunning views down across the island from up there. Absolutely stunning.
The other thing about the islands as well, and that west coast of Scotland, is the weather. It's certainly in Mallaig up that kind of way. If you go up in and around to Hebrides, you can play golf virtually 24 hours a day in the summer. So you got long days, so you can play a lot of golf or eat at different times. Go to the website, you'll see some of these individual trails laid out and where to stay and where to eat and how to book them and all the rest of it. So the summer on the west coast of Scotland is just fantastic. But if there are a few midges, the wind normally keeps them away. But the big trick for the midges is Skin So Soft. You put some Skin So Soft on. And my Royal Marine days, I think the worst thing I had to do was do exercise on the west coast of Scotland with those bloody little midges, because they're
but you're giving people a life hack for that though, Malcolm. Skin So Soft.
Oh no, absolutely.
I swear by that
Skin
as well.
So Soft is wonderful.
Yeah. And Dave, you've played the Macri as well, yeah?
Yeah, no, indeed, yeah. Just out on Isla. Again, I think if you've got an interest in golf, if you've maybe got a companion interest in whiskey, where could there be better to go than Isla, right? All those amazing distilleries. And it's the Macri now, an absolutely stunning golf course with an amazing hotel attached. It's a wonderful place to spend time. Absolutely stunning place to spend time.
DJ Russell, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Who designed Archfield as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's just down there at Archfield. Wonderful guy, great guy, and he speaks very, very highly of it. And the accommodation, the food, and that side, obviously, my restaurant side, it's phenomenal. And the other thing is a lot of that kind of west coast, a lot of the wee fishing boats are going out, so you get a lot of good shellfish and such, like fresh as can be. And don't be afraid of going down to the harbour and asking the boats if you can buy it. Don't tell anybody.
Well, just so our listeners know, there are other trails on that theme around in Argyll, Inner Hebrides and Outer Hebrides. So check out the website, scotlandwheregolfbegan.com, for more of that. Right, next one we're going to talk about, the theme is links to the seaside. Dave, do you want to explain the theme on that one?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully this is relatively self-explanatory, but some of the absolutely most spectacular golfing areas of Scotland find themselves around the seaside. Anyone that knows about Scottish golf and links golf will know that well. But we've got 3 or 4 of just the most amazing concentrations of the world-class golf courses around some of our seaside links. I think we're going to spend some time here talking a bit more about Ayrshire maybe, but again, other trails that are going to be up on the website around East Lothian, Angus and Fife as well. And it's hard to pick one out of the four, to be honest. They're all, in their very different way, just absolutely amazing places to go and play golf. And a lot of the things that go around the golf as well. There's some of the hotels, the accommodation providers, the restaurants, the cafes, the fish and chip shops they can absolutely turn a.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because Ayrshire is where I grew up. That's where I'm from. I went to school in Troon, so
I went to Troon.
Yeah, the born and bred. Did you? There you go.
I went to I was primary one in Troon before I saw the light and went to Malig.
Oh, I see. Well, I thought you were going to say Mark College. So Troon's town centre is like a sort of après golf heaven, as you say. Great restaurants, great pubs, a phenomenal fish and chip shop, a great ice cream shop if you fancy that as well. All walkable. And you could, if you wanted, walk from the 18th green at Royal Troon along the road, and you can find that. So there's no problem with having a little aperitif post or during your round Royal Troon, a little dram. And it's a similar situation when if you look at Prestwick as well, with all the courses all along that coastline. The Piersland House Hotel, they've got the Red Lion, the famous pub where the idea for the Open was hatched. Am I correct with that historical? Correct. Thank you, Malcolm. As ever with all of these things, although we're going to be talking about whiskey again, there is a whiskey experience down that way as well.
Any good golf region needs some good whiskey. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's a great way to link into the next trail then, isn't it? The perfect match. Right, Malcolm, I don't think we need you to explain this theme.
I think it is the perfect match. I mean, what could you want after, before or during a round of whiskey, apart from a wee dram? I mean, you hole a putt, a wee dram. You're looking for a drive, you try to carry the gorge, a wee dram. Somebody sinks a putt, a wee dram. It's cold, a wee dram. It's a friend, it's a wee dram. It's just a damn good idea. Scotland has had golf forever, and Scotland's had whiskey. Though, interestingly enough, for whiskey, you could say the Americans have got something to thank for it, because there was a wee bug called phylloxera that killed all the grape stock in Europe. So they'd taken grape rootstock to America. And then that's where the export whiskey came backwards and forwards, and we brought the bourbon barrels here to age it. Europe couldn't get grapes for brandy, so whiskey came up and came away. I mean, so many different areas in Scotland make whiskey. East Lothian, we've got Glenkinchie. There's new places opening up all the time. It's just one of God's drinks. The different ways you can drink it, whether it's with water, without water. I always say you can over-water whiskey, but you can never over-whiskey water. So I tend to drink it with a pint, a cold glass of whiskey, and then the whiskey itself, and it kills your mouth out, cleans it out, and gives you a lovely taste. Again, you go to the website and you'll see some of the great 19th holes, or Google it and look it up. And every area, as the guys have said, has got some great whiskey. I mean, here at Ducks, we've got about 100, but we're not alone. And every golfer, every caddy will have their story about their favourite whiskey. For me, it's Glenfarclas 15. It's just magic. But I think if you come to Scotland, you should get a hip flask, you should fill it up. And I think from the rest of your life, your hip flask will always be full and always in your bag.
It's a good opportunity for us as well to move away from the coast. When we talk about Scottish golf, we tend to spend a lot of time at the coast. But, we have Perthshire, and Gleneagles is a brilliant example of a phenomenal facility, which is something we've probably all experienced. But there's some other courses in the sort of Perthshire area that maybe not everyone has experienced. Has anyone played Comrie, for example?
Yeah, I've played Comrie, yeah.
And what was that like? I've not played that.
Again, one of these one of those where I didn't have high expectations going out there. I'd heard a little bit about it, but not a great deal. And there's some absolutely stunning holes. It's up in the Perthshire Hills, overlooking Crieff, and some of the views when you get to the top of the course, just utterly stunning. And sometimes you step onto a 9-hole golf course and you think, well, it's just going to be a wee pitch and putt, and you'll just knock it around and you'll have a bit of fun and stuff. But there's some really testing shots. There are really testing holes on that golf course as well. It gets that blend perfectly right in terms of great fun, but also a good test of golf as well. And the views are unbelievable.
And back to the theme, you can go in the Highland segment, and then it is back to more like link style golf, when we've got a great set of golf courses: Castle Stewart, Nairn Dunbar, Royal Dornoch, Golspie, Brora, Fortrose, Rosemarkie. I mean, that's a phenomenal set of golf courses which have got whiskey attached to it. Malcolm, I presume you have sampled the wares along that area.
Oh, almost all of them. And that whole area, I mean, nipping back down to Perthshire again, Crieff, Pitlochry, Murray's Hole, these are great golf courses. Creeff's a cracking little golf course. And again, a lot of these golf courses that no one's heard of, they're all old. They've all been designed for hickory golf. So they're testing, and that you've got to place your ball in the right place and go around the corner, and there are trees. Again, if you go on the website and look at Scotland's Less Obvious and the Sullivan stuff that we did on the website, he covers quite a lot of them. And the accommodation up there, people very, very friendly. I mean, that kind of Perthshire Highlands bit is people say is the kind of heart of where whiskey lies. But yeah, Castle Stewart is a great golf course, great area, lovely
great situation, isn't it?
Yeah, Nairn Bar, another cracker. Fortrose. We all hear of the big courses, the Muirfields and the St Andrews and the Troons and Prestwicks and so on. But these courses you'll enjoy just as much.
Fortrose is one as well where, you kind of step out there and people are like, well, just keep your eyes peeled for any dolphins off the back of the fifth tee. And you're like, what? What dolphins? This is like, you're crazy. And then you get out there and there's hundreds of people and screaming and shouting because there are, the pods of dolphins come in there and just play around the tip of that little peninsula that the golf course sticks out on. It's just absolutely a beautiful place to spend time.
I think the wildlife in general in Scotland, especially up there, you very likely see ospreys, you'll see golden eagles, you'll see buzzards, you'll see red deer. In Perth, you might see some roe deer. Bird watching's fantastic up there.
What's the accommodation like up there if you wanted to stay up there to play all these courses?
Perthshire, there's places like Gleneagles and Murray's Hole, which are great, but there's plenty of places. Again, not the website, you see some of the members that are up there. But lots of little bed and breakfasts and lovely little hotels, and they're all using local produce. They're all cooking fresh, and they're all really, really friendly. They're not out the world price wise, so don't be put off by whether it's a 3-star or a 2-star, because the welcome you're getting sometimes will make up for more than anything else. But there are plenty 5-star. I just said Gleneagles. I mean, Gleneagles, one of the great hotels of the world, full stop, with 3 fantastic golf courses. So, I mean, do you want to pay that price? That's a different thing. But for that, you've got just down the road, you've got the Tamuchan, which is a lovely little hotel. So it's not hard to find accommodation in Scotland. But again, if you go onto the website and see the trails, we've actually laid out accommodation and golf courses and trails for you to actually take some of the work out for you so you can go and do it.
I think that part as well, Stevie, around Dornoch, all too often it's a place where people dip in for a day, play Royal Dornoch and dip off again. And around there, you mentioned Golspie, Brora, you've got Tane. You could easily find yourself up there for 3 or 4 days and have 3 or 4 amazing days on the golf course, and then retire to, as Malcolm said, a wonderfully diverse range of hotels up there, from the Royal Marine in Brora, which is right next to the golf course, like walkable to Brora Links from there. The Royal Golf Hotel in Dornoch is literally next door to the Dornoch clubhouse.
Right.
And then if you're down in Inverness, the amazing, relatively recently opened Ness Walk, which sits right on the banks of the River Ness and is just an absolutely stunning 5-star experience. It's just the diversity, I think, is what really gets you about that part of the country, and people need to dwell there more than they do at the moment, because it's a wonderful place to spend time.
If you come in for 5 days, stay in one area. Stay in the Highlands, stay in Aberdeenshire, stay in East Lothian, I'm going to have to say Ayrshire for Jamie. Yeah, I have to stay in Ayrshire. You don't need to jump around all over the place. If you're driving up to the Highlands, stop off for a couple of nights and do something in Perthshire, because you maybe not want to, if you're coming to play links golf, you maybe not want to do that all the way, but on the way up and the way back, that's fantastic. And, guys like Dave at Morton Golf, give them a call, because they'll help you. I mean, obviously wants to book through you, but if you don't do that, they still help you. I mean, call me at Ducks. If you're going to go to Inverness, I'll still help you. And you'll find that from the boys at Troon at South Beach, all these guys, we're all in the same game. We're trying to help each other. If you've done the Highlands one year, then come and do Lothian the next year, do Fife the next year. There is no reason to spend half your time in a car or in a bus playing golf in Scotland.
So
there are plenty of areas to come back and do. Sure, if you come and do the big trip with all the key courses, it's going to cost you a lot of money and you've got to go from A to B. But if you want to have fun, come and stay. And even if you bring in the family, or the wife and the kids, there are plenty of things to do in these other areas. And that's why I wanted to do the things with the trails. We're talking about the ferries. We're talking about, links to seaside. Links to seaside, they're great beaches. All these areas have got great beaches for the kids to do. Send the wife off with the kids to the beach. Okay, wife said the husband off to the kids to the beach. Kids send your parents off to the beach and you go and play golf. It doesn't matter. And if you're on your own, a lot of these clubs, you go, just rock up and they'll try and get you away, or they'll put you with somebody else. So they will try hard to accommodate you. So Scotland is a very, very friendly place.
So other trails on that theme include Fife, East Lothian, the Borders, Dumfries and Galloway, and Speyside. So plenty more to check out, which you can link up with Whiskey, which you will all enjoy. If you check out the 1457 podcast feed, you'll hear about some of the other trails, including Inner City Golf, Get Crafty, Honest and Short, and Less Obvious. If you want to check us out online, www.scotlandwheregolfbegan.com. We're on social at Where Golf Began, and you can email us at info@scotlandwheregolfbegan.com.